Okay guys, so I am currently in the Water 7 arc of One Piece, but I didn't want to keep you guys waiting forever for an update, so this video is going to serve as like a little interim update to fill you guys in. So by the time you guys see this video, I will probably be very close to chapter 400. Also, based on feedback from some of you, I'm going to do the recap, but also give you guys more of my own thoughts as a sort of wrap up at the ends of the videos. So let's get started. So after the victory in Skypiea, we get taken back to Mocktown, where we learn that Bellamy was actually working for Doflamingo. One of the guys I just learned is one of the 7 warlords. Doflamingo has some kind of weird ass power based on his hand motion. It seems like some kind of puppeteer power. He was able to control Sarkis and make him kill Bellamy. Then he started rambling off about the new age of pirates. And I'm telling y'all, I'm already ready to see Luffy kick this guy's teeth in. He's already obnoxious as fuck off this one appearance. And now back with our favorite pirates, they are back on the sea. Luffy has decided that the next crew member will be a ship repairman, and everyone has also agreed at this point to spend the loot from Skypiea on a ship upgrade because the Going Merry looks like pure hell. At the same time, we learned that Admiral Aokiji, the strongest man at Marine Headquarters, is looking for Luffy, and he leaves on this tiny ass bicycle riding across the sea. He also mentioned how Luffy's family is filled with troublesome people. So now Luffy and crew come across a weird ship with no sail, no captain, no navigator, and Usopp is rightly concerned. I mean, I would be too. It's random to just try and dismiss what you just saw. So they dock on an island where everything is long and come across a man named Tanjik, who was stuck on stilts for 10 years because of his fear of heights before Luffy snapped them in half. He is a nomad that is trying to meet back up with his people and explains the Long Ring Island and how it takes years to get from one to the next due to the tide. And at the same time, the Foxy pirates show up. Their captain, Foxy, knows who they are, which is a nice hat tip to their notoriety at this point in the story. He challenges them to a Davy back fight, which is basically a form of pirate gambling that allows you to fight over crewmates. And it turns out the ship that they came across were the previous unlucky saps that lost. And that being the case, Usopp warns Luffy against it, and Nami tries to stop him from agreeing. But of course, this is Luffy we're talking about. And now they are roped into some bullshit. They learn the fight consists of 3 games: the Donut Race, the Groggy Ring, and Combat. So first up in the Donut Race are Nami, Usopp, and Nico Robin. They were doing pretty well despite blatant attacks from the enemy team and even fake goals set up by Foxy, which were pretty funny. And also notable was Usopp utilizing one of the dials he took from Skypiea for a speed boost, and I'm pretty sure that those dials are going to come in handy some other way in the future. It was useless in the end, obviously, when Foxy intervenes with his devil fruit power, the Noro Noro beam, that lets him slow anything down that he hits. After the first loss, the Foxy Pirates decided to take Chopper as one of their own, which leaves Zoro and Sanji one man down for the next round, which is the Groggy Ring. Now, the Groggy Ring was a strange game. Each team had like a person designated as the ball, in this case Sanji, which the other team then had to score into makeshift baskets, if that's what you even want to call them. The round was pretty much more intense than the first. It was much more brutal as well, and the 3 that Zoro and Sanji fought were much larger than they were and much more adapted to the game, clearly based on the teamwork that they were showing off. Now, after getting their asses kicked for quite a while, they finally decided to kick it up a notch and make quick work of the opposing team, embarrassing them and making them harm each other in the process. It was pretty funny. Zoro ended round 2 with a nice slam dunk into the ground to make a statement. Now, after winning round 2, Nami suggested that they took the Foxy Pirate Captain as the prize, which would put them in a very favorable position for round 3. But Luffy decides to win Chopper back instead because, well, he's a real nigga. Now for round 3, combat between Luffy and Foxy. It's set up like a boxing match, and Luffy shows up in a goddamn afro, immediately reminding me of Afro Thunder from Ready to Rumble Boxing, if y'all know what that is. Anyway, the fight actually made me gain massive respect for Foxy, seeing how he would hit Luffy with the beam and just pile on punches that would all connect after 30 seconds. I thought that was nasty. This was one of the more comedic fights in the series, especially the parts where Foxy was running around the ship in disguises, trying to get away from Luffy. After learning that the beam could reflect off glass, Luffy ended up using that to secure his victory in the end, reflecting Foxy's being back to him and busting him right in his shit. I will say Foxy had it easy though, because he's the first person to not lose any teeth after catching the beats from Luffy. Now after winning, Luffy decides to take the Foxy Pirates flag to bring back to Tanjiro and leaves them with the worst looking sail design I've ever seen. We would have had to scrap again if he did that to me, especially if I lost. Again, it wouldn't even matter because it would be worth it just to throw hands one more time. Now back at Tanjiro, Admiral Aokiji shows up, the same dude who rode his tiny ass bike across the sea. He knows Nico Robin and is known to be one of the 3 supreme admirals, including Akainu the red dog and Kizuna the yellow monkey. He is Aokiji the blue pheasant. Their only superior is Sengoku, and they are the ultimate assault force of the world government. That's one hell of an introduction. Now he says he's not there to arrest them, only to get updated on the location of Nico Robin and report it to HQ. He tells them that the bounty of the group is going to increase significantly with her presence, and he seems like a pretty cool guy, probably the only other good marine next to Smoker, and he actually helps Tanjiro meet back up with his people by using his devil fruit ability and freezing the fucking sea with his ability. While talking to Luffy, he brings up Luffy's grandfather, and Luffy starts acting really funny, either because he knows his grandfather and is trying to keep it under wraps, or has no clue what's going on. Now Aokiji commended the Straw Hats on their growth and realizes that they will be a big threat eventually. That being the case, he's worried that one day they're gonna get tired of fighting pirates and go after others. Then he calls out Nico Robin and says that she is just using them for personal gain. Every crew she joins gets destroyed. She's always the only survivor. And then Nico gets pissed off and attacks Aokiji, immediately failing and is frozen solid. Luffy tells everyone to stand down so that he can fight him one-on-one, and also to buy time so they can get away. I mean, he tried his best, but clearly he is no match and got turned into a fucking popsicle, completely overwhelmed. Aokiji let him live instead of smashing him into tiny little pieces, but warned Luffy of the danger of Nico Robin and how she poses that danger to him and his crew. Okay, so my thoughts on this little arc here. It's not really my favorite, but I understand why it was necessary. Well, let me clarify. The Davy back fight stuff wasn't my favorite. Now, I get that after a very serious arc like Skypiea, this was needed to lighten the mood a little bit, so it's fine. That seems to be the pattern anyway. After every major arc, there's like a little comedic relief sprinkled in while they're on their way to most likely their next unintentional fuck up. The most interesting piece was the fight between Foxy and Luffy, and I actually kind of wish a more serious villain had that ability because it was pretty cool in my opinion. And as far as the whole Aokiji situation, that was fantastic. For one, now I know that these Marines are no joke. For two, this solidifies me finding Nico Robin to be the most intriguing character. Now someone had asked me that question during my Q&A, and I mentioned that I'm most curious about Nico Robin since she's the one most shrouded in mystery. This just drove that point home for me. Next, I still feel like Luffy is related to Gold Roger somehow, and since Aokiji mentioned Luffy's grandfather, maybe that's a connection. Now I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to getting answers, and I'm also looking forward to seeing those other two supposedly epic Marines in action eventually. Also, like I said earlier, I can't wait to see more from this Doflamingo guy, especially when him and Luffy clearly obviously eventually come to blows. On top of that, I need more clarification on his abilities. But that's pretty much it for this little interim recap. I'm still reading, I'm still enjoying, so don't worry y'all, just wanted to update you. Drop a like and subscribe if you enjoy this series, and make sure you follow me on all my socials at YaBoyRoshi, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and also join the Discord. The link is down below in the comments. The link to my merch store is also always down below in the comments. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. Hopefully you guys have a great day or night, whatever time it is you are watching this, and I will catch you guys for the next recap.